Well, good evening, basketball fans, and welcome here to Bangkok, Thailand for tonight's game here in the windows of 2 and 3 of the BCL Asia East. Tonight, indeed, it is the Broncos of Mongolia in town as they'll go up against Adroit in what is going to be a highly anticipated big game for the Broncos. Well, if you are just joining us, these two teams, we got to saw them in Chinese Taipei and New Taipei City. Adroit starting off with a heavy defeat not only against the New Taipei Kings, but also losing yesterday against High Tech Basketball Club from Bangkok. While for the Broncos, they put the whole entire BCL Asia East on notice. They defeated through a very impressive comeback victory against New Taipei Kings and led by Chimanga, the big man from Canada, who dominated that game with an impressive performance. And tonight, many people are thinking that the Broncos will be favorites to yet again go 2-0 here in Group B. Well, if you are new to BCL Asia East, it is a new format, pathway, a journey that began in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia in the first window. 24 games, 2 groups, 8 teams, 5 windows, and then a Final Four to decide which 2 teams will book their tickets to go to the 2025 FIBA BCL Asia. Well, the BCL Asia was a magnificent foundation that started last season in the city of Dubai, from the 9th to the 15th of May, and there are some of the upcoming games in this window, and a venue yet to be decided, of course, for the 2025 BCL Asia. But there we will see the champions of Japan's B League, China's CBA, the Philippines PBA, the Korean KBL, as well as the 2 very best teams from the FIBA Vassal. Well, Broncos could go 2-0 in this window with the one victory that they could, one victory they already have. They could actually go 3-0. As the final window will be indeed played in Mongolia. And that window, of course, is going to be a very exciting one to say the least. Well, the Broncos, of course, in their domestic league known as the League, are currently in the finals against BCL Asia East rivals Bishrat Metal, who only have one victory to their name in Group A. Broncos leading that series 2-1. It was good to see Asbayar, the youngster, back in the lineup for this team, and they were missing some of their key domestic players. But there he is, the man, Rory Chimanga, along with Jordan Tolbert. Well, those 2 bigs just proved to be too dominant, too much of a handful for New Taipei Kings. But can they replicate the same success tonight? So now we are going to get set to introduce the key players this evening for Adroit. And I think that the key thing you want to look out for is the likes of Leon Kwek and along with Nang Hanbin, the 2 domestic players from Singapore. But they're 3 import players, the 3 Ukrainians. They've produced some very good performances, but it just hasn't been a consistent enough basis for them to be a true competitor here in the BCL Asia East. Well, nobody can argue that in their offenses that they don't create big shots. They do create good shots. The problem is that they're underhanded. The only thing they can do in this game is play for pride. Well, we are going to get set to look at the started lineups, but prior to that, we will look at the 3 referees for tonight's game. Well, we're very proud to say they were 3 of the very finest here in international basketball. They've done an excellent job in all of our competitions, and they'll continue to do so here tonight. Well, our 3 referees are coming from Japan, Kazakhstan, and Kuwait. You can just see them in the background. We will introduce them more appropriately very soon as the coach is now shaking hands with each other. Well, our commissioner and technical delegate for tonight's game is Andrew Te, who, of course, is one of the greats of FIBA, and he'll be leading a 3-man officiating crew. And as mentioned, from Japan, our referee is Haruga Iwai. From Kazakhstan, we have Alexei Stepanenko, and from Kuwait, we have Khalid Al-Shamari. Well, we'll get a look at our referees very soon, and then we'll take a look at the started lineups for these 2 teams. As mentioned, we're at the Nimebutir Stadium in Bangkok, Thailand. Of course, Thai basketball not qualifying for the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. FIBA Asia Cup. Well, there they are, the 3 referees for tonight's game. Haruga Iwai, Alexei Stepanenko, and Khalid Al-Shamari coming from Kuwait, Kazakhstan, and Japan. Well, we are going to get set to look at the starting lineups for these 2 teams, and I believe we will begin maybe with the Broncos, the visitors. Of course, Mongolian basketball, we're going to get a good taste of it when we go live to Ulaanbaatar, the capital city, for the final window of both Groups A and B. I can imagine we're going to see Chimanga. Now, Chimanga didn't start in the game against New Taipei Kings. While Jordy Chimanga is in the starting lineup with Bennett Miller. Well, also, Bindaria will also have a key Seitan along with Tushig and Batispoldu, who is one of their key components in the backcourt. Very steady point guard. Well, I just think everything is going to go through the big man tonight. If they can try to get Chimanga good looks, try to get him as many possessions inside the paint, it will be their game for the taking. Well, head coach Erdene Ariumbold, of course, only was the assistant coach of this team prior to taking over as head coach, and what a way to begin with a huge victory for Mongolian basketball on the road in Chinese Taipei. Well, we'll take a look at the starting lineups now for Adroit, the #1 team from Singapore's top basketball league. Of course, a very tough start for coach Mark Jason Santiago from Gilas, Filipinas. But he knows that he's got something to work with the future. Of course, it's going to take some time for them, obviously, to really build that, I don't know how to say this, of course, but that culture in Singapore. There's no doubt the game of basketball is definitely popular. And like I said, the goal of FIBA is to expand and give the game a platform to build on. And that's only great for Singaporean basketball, to have a team competing here in BCL Asia East. Well, the fans making the long journey from Mongolia all the way here to Singapore, to Thailand, like they did. They showed up in Chinese Taipei. Because they put on a hell of an atmosphere as well, and it goes to show just how popular and how passionate the game of basketball is in Mongolia. Well, we're now just 3 minutes away from under tip. Adroit going to the bench. Remember, this is the BCL Asia East, and if you are watching this game live on FIBA's official YouTube platform, please hit that like button, subscribe to FIBA on YouTube, and make sure you follow BCL Asia on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Well, I think one thing is going to be for sure tonight. The Broncos are going to come here, and they're going to want to win, and they're going to want to win big time. It was a monumental victory for them when they did defeat New Taipei Kings. Well, tempo is going to be very crucial in the early stages of this game. No doubt about it. I think one thing as we've already seen with the Broncos, they like to run. And they play a very quick, aggressive tempo. If they can control the defensive end, any defensive rebound, loose ball, or turnover they come up with, they are going to push that and convert into transition points. Well, San Ben Nu to all of our Mongolian fans, and San to everybody. San Banu, hello to everybody watching from Mongolia. Of course, Broncos big time at the moment here for Mongolian basketball. Could qualify for BCL Asia, but also could win a big time championship in the league. Well, the players now entering the floor. Adroit going with Premack, and of course, he is going to have a big game inside the paint tonight. Well, Broncos now entering the floor. Sam Batskanu, hello to everybody. Welcome yet again. Bayaklar for joining us. A big thank you. And as always, Zugir Zugir. Let's get this one underway. Broncos looking to remain undefeated here in BCL Asia East. Well, it's going to be tough here for Adroit, no doubt about it, because I think the key thing for them is ensuring they don't allow their confidence to be completely dwindled from the first two games. At some point, they're going to have an opportunity where one of the teams they play is not going to have a good day. And I think that's going to be a tough task, definitely. Welcome, we're live here in Bangkok, Thailand. Indeed, it is BCL Asia East, as we're now ready to get this one underway. Well, slight issue there just on the jump ball, but looks like possession has been clarified early on. Because I think the tough test tonight here for Adroit is going to be dealing with Jordy Chimanga inside the paint, the big man. Well, we just saw what a dominant player he was in Chinese Taipei. But Adroit getting first play. Kolchenko deep in the corner. Now on the baseline, but it's going to be an early turnover, just stepping out of bounds. Not a great start for Adroit. What's interesting about Adroit, they're not a turnover prone. If you look at their first 2 games, they weren't massively rocking up turnovers as many would expect. I mean, the thing with them is they get good looks. They just don't convert them, and that just goes to show the level of competition defense you're up against here in BCL Asia East. Well, Batata and Dene, Batisbol buries an early 3-pointer. Same Batshanu, everybody. The Mongolians have arrived. Well, trying to get things going very early on. Now getting a ball reversal. 3 in the corner here for Adroit. Chimanga battling for the board, but Premack putting up a fight as now Miller wants to run. Well, they go for another one. Baz ball again. Zugir. One more time. 2 early 3-pointers from the point guard. Well, the PG picking up right where he left off in Chinese Taipei. And now they go to a ball screen. Quickly, Chong Han Wong dishes off, finds Premack, and that's a good look, and that's what I talk about. There is talent in this team. There is capability. It's about doing it on a consistent basis. And finding Premack wide open inside the paint. Well, that's what they've got to build their offense on. But again, Miller just going down on the penetration. The bank is open. Well, they've got to ensure they don't give away too many easy buckets. Well, kicking this one out. Nang Han Bin made a few threes, and Chinese Taipei was unlucky the other night, which was last night. He's unable to make this one. Well, Bosbold has made 2 threes. Chimanga steps through, goes in, counted, and he's going to the free throw line. Bayaklar, simply unstoppable. Well, the foul has been committed by Larry Liu. And how do you stop this big fella? Jordy Chimanga started with the University of Nebraska, then played at Dayton, Ohio in the NCAA. Originally from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Nine-point lead already. Batisbold almost forcing a turnover. Indeed he does. Well, Batisbold, Batata, and Denny at the moment causing all sorts of problems here for Adroit. Well, they've got to pull this one together. If they're not careful, this could be a complete disaster. Well, now they get this one inbound. Well, there's another penetration, hangs in the air, unable to finish. And now this time they come up with it. Adroit, look at the push. Because had that early field goal with Premack inside the paint. It's Kolchenko, that's a clever play because he goes right at Jordy Chimanga and just draws a context. That picks up his first personal foul of the game. Well, baseline possession coming up for Adroit. Because Broncos will want to kill this game off as early as possible. Trying to find ways to get him bounced. Well, they turn it over yet again. And now Miller. Numbers here. A little slow. Finds Chimanga. Bumps in. Goes in. No, it's going to be an offensive foul. So 2 fouls already against Jordy Chimanga. Well, tough one to say the least. Well, we're not going to see a replay of this one right now, but well, Son and you Ben coming into the game. Jordan Tolbert, what's new, brother? Kyo's had a very good game in the second half against New Taipei Kings. Made some crucial buckets, especially in the third and fourth quarters. As now you can see Nang Han Bin of Adroit just being put under a very uncomfortable position, but now he gets a wide open look. 3 is up. 3 is good. And that's good for Adroit. Well, a tough one to say the least. Broncos again now just trying to manage here with Miller. Off one screen, finds Tolbert. Tolbert dribbles into traffic. He turns it over. Well, sloppy play. As now Adroit building confidence early on. But it's going to be a careless turnover. And this is what Adroit cannot afford. They made a good offensive play with Nang Han Bin with a three-pointer. Then forcing Jordan Tolbert into a turnover. And then they turn it right back over. They've got to be able to build. Only go for another 3. 3 is up. Make it number 3 here from the three-point line. And right now, Broncos coming out like a house on fire. This time, Elbeg Tushig. Second field goal attempt now already, making it back to a 9-point lead. It's Kolchenko. Did he have his foot on the line? That's a little too short. Nang Han Bin offensive rebound. Not a lot of time on the shot clock, though. He's got to be aware. Trying to go up against Tolbert, but they turn this one over. And now Broncos can run. Why not? Basbold, another 3 goes in. Same Batanu. Bayaklan Zugir. Third 3 of the game already for Basbold. Batare Dene. And a timeout's going to be called by Adroit. They trailed by 12 points. Broncos are cooking. Well, we'll go down to their bench to hear what the coach has to say. Incredible scenes. Well, no timeout has been called, actually. So that means play still continues. Already 4 3-pointers here in the first quarter for the Broncos. Not only are they looking to qualify for BCL Asia, they're also trying indeed to get to win the league finals. The league is the domestic highest level of pro basketball in Mongolia. And our 2 participants here in BCL Asia East indeed are the Broncos and Bishrelt Metel. Heavy defense coming. There's a bump. And now time again is winding down. 3 goes flying for Adroit. That's not going to go. And now quickly finds Tolbert. And again, good night. The dime coming from Miller. Tolbert getting out on the runs, making it a 14-point lead. Well, Adroit, of course, just need to learn how to manage the tempo without turning it over. Kolchenko, good ball reversal. Fakes the pass, but that's going to be a traveling violation. Well, that's a tough one. But that's the right call, unfortunately. Well, there's the move, goes in. Again, no help side defense. And Adroit just gifting Miller with a wide open layup. Well, that's a problem here because now, in terms of taking care of the pressure, dealing with it, they get over the halfway line. It's just getting into a half-court good set. Premac fighting for an offensive rebound. But that goes out of bounds. Well, Broncos patiently going to another dribble handoff. Well, you know they want to go for a three-pointer. Miller comes off one screen. There's the kick out. Another penetration. Tolbert goes baseline. Now they're going to turn this one over. Well, spinning out, having no numbers with him. A failed chance here to really capitalize. Well, again, nice move goes in, but they turn it right back over. And now Broncos getting a little bit too casual. Well, they've got to ensure they don't cause too many turnovers. Now we're under 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Well, that's a nice penetration, but a foul's going to be called, so 2 free throws coming up. Well, the foul indeed is going to be called on Broncos number 20, Elbeg Tushig, the man who made the other three-pointer. Remember, 3 of them have already been made by number 3, Barisbold Batare Dene. is coming into the game. Ikbayar Chulun Batar. So taking a breather at the moment. Sergelen Otgon Batar. And currently the free throw line. Larry Liu here for Adroit. Well, change coming in is now subbing in for Adroit, number 99, Nakik Borhan. Still only a 14-point deficit. Well, the young fella, Azbayar Altan Gerel, now also in the lineup. There's a kick out. 3, number 5, maybe coming up. It's in the corner. Oh, look at him tower. Oh, my goodness! Sonin Yuben. Tewanda. Are you kidding me? Well, Ikbayar Chulumbatar just towered for the rebound. Well, I'm not sure how tall this man is, but he just showed hunger and he showed bunnies on that one. Well, this man stands at 194 centimeters. That is Ikbayar Chulumbatar. The bunnies on him to go for that second chance point. Incredible business. Well, nice little backdoor pass. Finds Tolbert. Makes one more. 3, number 5, it's up, no good. As Premiac secures the rebound. .230 to go here in the first quarter. Still a 14-point deficit. Well, a foul has been given. That's going to be free throws coming up for Adroit because Broncos have put him into the penalty. Well, change coming in yet again. It looks like Kolchenko's going to come back in the lineup. Well, the one thing Adroit don't, what the Broncos don't want to get into a tough situation is to get too casual here. Yes, they beat the New Taipei Kings emphatically, but you got to ensure you respect your opponents. Kolchenko missing the first free throw. Because I already talked about this the first 2 games he played. Kolchenko featured for his national team Ukraine at the 2017 FIBA Eurobasket. We had a magnificent performance against Gigi Totoma, Marco Bellinelli, and the Italian team. We had 8 points. Another dribble handoff here for Broncos. Can they go for 3, number 5? Big offensive rebound secured by Azbayar. There's another penetration. Tolbert in the corner. Makes another one. So a 3 here, Fasarul Erdeni. Make that 3-pointer number 5. Well, they're cooking tonight. They are cooking. 16-point lead yet again. Now we're just under 145. Broncos want to remain undefeated. Nice penetration, but he misses from point-blank range. And now the Broncos have numbers. Here we go. Almost turning it over. Sarul Erdeni comes up. 3, number 6. 3 is up. 3 is good. Well, the Broncos have brought down the rain from Mongolia here to Thailand. Now making it a 19-point lead. Well, Kolchenko will try 3 now. He's made a few in the first 2 games. Big rebound secured by Azbayar. And here come the Broncos. Well, you know they got one thing on their mind. Maybe go again for another 3-pointer. Another penetration. Azbayar goes in. It's way too easy. And now a 21-point lead. Well, you got to think, neither Jordy Chimanga or Miller are on the floor, but credit to Jordan Tolbert. He looks like he wants to give the ball up every time he gets it. Well, Kolchenko probably wants to go a little bit quicker here just to ensure they have a potential 2-for-1. They have to force up another 3. 9 seconds of the shot clock. Not going to get it. Broncos looking to push this one. Well, their 3-point shooting has been magnificent so far. Thinks about it. Now goes for it. Hand his face. Almost got it. And now Kolchenko looking to go for maybe one last play here. As now Zhong Ham Wong. Nowhere to go now. Down the middle. Little teardrop. Scoop hook. Can't get it. And that is the end of the first quarter. where the Broncos of Mongolia lead by 21 against Adroit of Singapore. This is the second game of Windows 2 and 3 here in Group B of the BCL Asia East. We are going to show you some key stats from the first quarter, and then we'll run back the best highlights. Well, fans watching live on FIBA's official YouTube platform, please make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to FIBA on YouTube and follow BCL Asia on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Remember, this tournament was known as the FIBA Asia Champions Cup. It's back, it's bigger. Welcome back, everybody, live here in Bangkok, Thailand. Windows 2 and 3 of the BCL Asia East, where currently it's a 21-point lead to the Broncos of Mongolia. Jody Chimaga picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter back in the game, and again, just going to work right away. Well said, he have Ukrainian international trying to defend him as well as anyone else could, but I think even the new Taipei Kings post-interior defenders just found out how tough a task that would be. A 23-point lead at the moment. Well, Kolchenko trying to play aggressive here with Miller. Now penetrating, going in. Goes in. Wasn't even looking at the basket. Well, that is a baby Larry Bird move. This man had no eyes on the bucket, but still made the layup. That's incredible. Miller now trying to orchestrate things. Kicks us out. A little Euro-Mongolian step, and the foul has been called, so free throws coming up. Well, I'd like to see a replay of Kolchenko's no-look at the bucket Larry Bird move. Even though they still trail by 21, it was a hell of a play. Well, currently the free throw line now is Ermunzaya Ekmenbayar. He's only played a minute so far here in the second quarter. Well, Adroit trying to get something good going. Have an open three in the corner. Three is up, no good. Miller with a rebound. Again, they want to keep building on this one. Miller coming off one screen. Nowhere to go here. But now waiting for the ball screen from Chimaga. There's a kick out. Can they go for three, number 6? Bayarte Dara Usi. Goodbye. And again, the threes just keep on coming in for the Broncos. Broncos are on fire. Well, they just cannot miss at the moment. Well, Sodiev thinks about it and makes one here for... Indeed, for Adroit. Well, he's had a few good looks in this tournament so far, but he's been unable to make them count consistently. And that puts it back down at 21. Now Miller kicks this one out. A little bit too fancy, going behind the back, comes up with his own loose ball. As Kolchenko secures a rebound. Just over 2 minutes played in the second quarter. Kolchenko, he'll fire another one, and this now cuts down to 18. So back-to-back threes for Adroit. And a 6-0 run is something they should take a lot of confidence from. Well, now they go back to this dribble handoff basketball. Well, Chimanga goes in, can't finish. Sediev with a big stop in now. For the first time here in BCL Asia East, can Adroit go on an 8, maybe 9-0 run? Something they haven't done yet. Kolchenko coming off one screen. Now going for a third three. That almost, well, was a little bit off the mark. But Broncos still control the tempo. Miller trying to find Chimanga, but a kickball violation is going to be given. Baseline possession coming up for the Broncos. Now trying to find Chimanga, but being heavily defended. Well, looking for something here. Going down the young fella. But a foul has been called, so free throws coming up yet again for the Broncos. Well, currently the free throw line here for the Broncos. Number 7, Azbayar Altan Gerel. 2 points so far this evening. Of course, also has 2 rebounds. I think everybody can talk about his potential. Because was inactive in the window in Chinese Taipei as he makes the first free throw. And it's players like this, you got to think there's definitely going to be a bright pathway for the future of Mongolian basketball. Because it was a tough group the national team had in the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. China, Japan, Guam. But I'm telling you, the future is bright for Mongolian hoops. The Pro League is expanding. But the key thing is seeing more domestic players and coaches make it to this level here at BCL Asia East. Well, Nang Habib going for another 3. Well, you know Broncos want to think about going for another 3-pointer. They lead by 20. Now Miller pulling up mid-range. In and out, can't get it. Both players battle for the offensive board, but Adroit survived this one. It looks like a foul is going to be given against the Broncos. Well, this one looks like it's going to be called against Ermun Zaya Ehem Bayar. Well, that's only the second team foul. Both teams 2 fouls to give here in the second quarter. As now Shaylin J, left-handed crafty point guard, going for an ISO. Well, went in for the scoop hoop, but Chimanga big rebound. And now here come the Broncos. Miller off one screen. Finds Chimanga. Defense takes a gamble. Well, Chimanga's going to get called for a traveling violation, and that's the right call, but it's a tough one. Because I think if you slow down the speed of an entire basketball game, you're going to find that should be called more than it is, but I've got no arguments with it. It's just a tough call. Because BCL Asia's second season is going to be exciting in June. Remember, a venue is still yet to be decided. Because all the top leagues in East Asia, the FIBA Vassal, still finding out to see who those participants will be. Sodi has made 1 3. Hesitates. He's unable to convert as Chimanga now gets a rebound. Well, Miller down the middle, kicks out. Now they go for another 3. Chimanga gets a rebound. Well, Miller mid-range sinks this one. 22-point deficit. And again, they're so concerned about Jordy Chimanga rolling to the basket that they forgot you cannot leave Miller wide open, especially from the mid-range. And Adroit just at the moment need a little bit more life in their offense. Everything's a little bit too 50-50 here. Kickball violation, so Adroit will get it back on the baseline. Well, Premiak coming back in the lineup here for Adroit as well as Kolchenko. Oh, excuse me, yeah. Miller leaving the game. Premiak coming back in. Avoiding the 5-second violation. Now ISO. Jay goes in. Avoids the block, but the rebound's been secured. And now here comes Broncos and Chimanga. Chimanga, Eurostep. Too big, too strong, and gets one. Well, you knew the Eurostep was coming. You just didn't know how he was going to finish. Well, I don't know how you defend this man. Prior to coming to Mongolia, had a great season playing in the Plus League in Chinese Taipei in Kaohsiung. And I think you saw that performance against New Taipei Kings. Well, he was all business. Premiak coming up with a rebound. Well, another change. Bartis Bowl coming back in the lineup here for the Broncos. He's made 3 of their 3-pointers so far. Heavy defense here on the Bull screen. Adroit still trying to build something. Lin Jae-shin kicking out, and another contested 3 goes up. With the rebound falling in the hands of Chimanga. It's now under 4 minutes. 24-point cushion. Well, Batispol throws it up, but again, intercepted by Sudhiev. And I think they knew that one was coming. Telegraphed that the whole way. But here's where Adroit need to get into a quick set. Look, right now, set a bull screen. Probably should try to do this a little quicker. And again, time dwindling down. Having to go from the baseline, way off the mark. That's now Elbeg Tushig coming up with a loose ball. But it culminates into a sloppy turnover for the Broncos. So, considering they are heavy favorites to win this game, they haven't quite come out with the same intensity as they did in the second half in that big monumental victory against New Taipei Kings. Adroit doing what they can now to break down the zone. Well, the man, not a zone defense. Trying to find Premiak on the back door. Good hands by the Ukrainian, and now gets fouled. So free throws coming up for Sergei Premiak. Well, he's actually quite a very good player, Sergei Premiak. Just started his very young career in the lower divisions of Spanish basketball when he did play in Gran Canaria. Because he has played for some very, very, prestigious clubs in the Baltic of Europe. But, with his experience and what he can bring to help further develop, the international standard of Singaporean basketball can only benefit. Probably his most productive season was in 2017-18 when he played in the Georgian Super League for Sukhumi. Because that was the best statistical stats of his career. 10 points per game, 5 rebounds. This converts both free throws. Well, Broncos looking for something. Tolbert, here we go. And again, almost connect with it. Well, didn't have quite enough room to take off, but still the effort was magnificent. As now we're into 3 minutes. Well, Premiak just helping out here on the perimeter. Well, Adroit, nice little fake, finds Premiak, goes in, counted, gets one. Fouls on Jordan Tolbert. And I like what I'm seeing at the moment from Adroit. Going consistently to a bull screen scenario. Finding Premiak on the rolls. And I'm telling you right now, look at it, quickly rolls. It looks like a ghost screen. But the over help side defense just comes back to haunt Broncos, because that time you could see Ikbayar Chulumbatar, number 0, coming from the weak side. Well, that is where at the moment, Broncos backcourt has got to take some more accountability in that man-to-man matchup. Premack converts a three-point play. Now cutting it down to 19 points. Under 2.5 here in the second quarter. Well, he had the three-pointer, but in the end, Elbeg Tushig just went down the middle. It was a very tough move, to say the least. Well, they haven't been so... Well, I'm not quite sure. That may have just been Devador actually go for that one. Now another bull screen scenario. Trying to go for a reversal. Now getting a three in the corner. Getting a hand to it. And Tolbert comes up with it. Well, they want to run here. Well, Tolbert trying to post up. Now going for a spin out. Goes in. The bank's not quite there. The rebound secured by Sergiev. As now we reach the 90-second mark here in the first half. Of course, the Broncos, just like Bishrelt Metel of Mongolia's the league, they'll be hosting the final window of BCL Asia East. I think after we saw that big victory against Chinese Taipei Kings, definitely this Group B is going to be competitive, as Sergiev putting Jordan Tolbert under pressure. Well, timeout's going to be called. These two teams want to talk it over. So we'll see what they have to say. So Bayarte, Darauzi, we'll see you very soon as we come back from this timeout. Broncos currently leading by 21 against Adroit. Well, if you are watching live on FIBA's official YouTube platform, please hit that like button, subscribe to FIBA on YouTube, and follow BCL Asia on X, Instagram, and Facebook. Well, 1:08 to go here in the second quarter. As mentioned, comfortable lead here at the moment now for the Broncos. Adroit getting it inbound. Broncos look like they've gone into a... Not sure if this is a man-to-man matchup. Yeah, it looks like it's a man-to-man defense still. Well, no, maybe it's a zone actually. I can't quite tell, but... Well, had a wide-open layup, didn't it? Wasn't able to finish it. And now Broncos could go 2 for 1. Badisbo Batara Dene giving this one up. Now pulling up from 15. Well, that's a good look, but unable to finish. Because now we have 14 seconds difference between both game and shot clock. Bit of a rough second quarter here for both these two teams. Unable to really, in the case of the Broncos, push on full steam. Well, now maybe just 1 second difference. But that's going to go back to Adroit. Well, but I think the shot clock probably... Not sure if it's going to go back to 14 or this one would go to 24. So it's 14. Still 9 seconds difference. Another penetration. Good hands. Goes out of bounds. So a turnover here for Adroit. Well, very well calculated defense. Especially when reaching in. It's 11.9. Final seconds here in the first half. Well, you think they might want to go for another three. There's the penetration. Tolbert, corner three is up. Almost had it. Well, that would have made it a 24-point lead. But as it stands, Broncos, well, that would have been big. But Broncos in total control of this one. One more half to come here in BCL Asia East. Live here in Bangkok, Thailand, as we're now going to head to look at the stats and then the best highlights here from the first half. I'd say that second quarter was quite rough for both these two teams. Neither really able to get a grip on it. But I think the one difference at the moment has been the three-point shooting. Well, Adroit, they converted only 3 out of 16, but the Broncos, very impressive. 7 out of 12, 58%. And it's almost like every three-pointer Broncos make, they have a message. They say, Seknan Brada, good night, have a good rest. Defense just can't handle that one. Well, we'll take a look at the highlights very, very soon. As well, we'll take a look at some of the key stats, but we'll leave you with both those things. Well, hello and welcome back, everybody, to Bangkok, Thailand. This is the FIBA BCL Asia East, the journey in which many teams, 8 teams in total, will compete, and only 2 of them will qualify for the 2025 FIBA BCL Asia. Well, the BCL Asia, of course, the journey in which 2 teams out of 8 will be trying to get to, started last season, the rebirth of the former FIBA Asia Champions Cup, in which we will see the champions of Japan's B-League, Korea's KBL, China's CBA, Philippines PBA, and the 2 very best from the FIBA Vassal. Well, the game currently now is between Adroit of Singapore and the Broncos of Mongolia. There's their team leadership currently enjoying the occasion. They were fantastic in Chinese Taipei, defeating New Taipei Kings, and many of their fans have made the journey from beautiful Mongolia all the way here to magnificent Bangkok, Thailand. Well, again, we'd like to welcome all of our live international viewers who are watching on FIBA's official YouTube platform. If you're watching this game live, please hit that like button on this live stream, subscribe to FIBA on YouTube, and make sure you follow BCL Asia on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Well, it's going to be Adroit with the first possession. Well, they did go on a 6-0 run, making 2 3-pointers early in the second quarter, but they're unable to get the first bucket. Rebound secured by Chimanga. Chimanga now in the paint. But a foul's going to be called against Premack. Unless Adroit sends a double team, that's going to be an easy one-on-one matchup. But that's no disrespect to Premack. It's just, as you saw Chimanga in the game against New Taipei Kings, I don't think there's going to be many centers here in East Asia that's going to be able to guard him. Almost losing their balance. Chimanga now in the paint. Goes in. No foul call, but Uchlara Zugir. How on earth did he make that one? I don't think he was looking at the bucket. Incredible. Bayaklar, as they would say in Mongolia. But now Adroit trying to build something. Turning this one over. Good steal by Elbeg Tushig. And now here comes, here we go. Uchlara Zugir one more time. Chimanga down the middle. Incredible. Well, big man gets out in transition. And I don't know if you remember watching the game against New Taipei Kings. The tank of New Taipei Kings tried to put him on a poster. He took that one personally and went down the other end and decided to rip the ring down. Well, big moment, of course, of Mongolian basketball, where the national team just couldn't quite qualify for the FIBA Asia Cup. In the end, we could very well see one of their top teams qualify for BCL Asia. Bishrov Metel in Group A still have a chance as Kolchenko fires a tough 3. That's not going to go. Chimanga gets a rebound. Well, Tolbert now on the perimeter. He'll fire a 3. He's taking a few and he hits this one. Now makes it a 28-point lead. Well, Jordan Tolbert, with his experience, probably now can relieve himself on the perimeter. The fact that Jordy Chimanga is just dominating inside the paint. Nangham Bin. Well, nice little move. That's a good move there because you can see he just manipulates enough separation just to get the jump hook off. And now going coast to coast, but Bonus Bold, Batata Dene unable to finish. Well, it's fair to say Adroit's been slightly better in this game than they were yesterday when they went up against High Tech of Thailand. But the 3-point is way off the mark. But still they fight for it. Second chance, Kolchenko fires a 3. And the rebound has been secured. Well, this is where the Broncos have been great. Finding Chimanga, goes in, gets rejected, but gets his own rebound. Well, the block was good, but the follow-up was even better by Chimanga. Because he's the kind of player, if you make mistakes, you know, they'll make you pay. Even if you get things right, they'll still make you pay. Nangham Bins made 1-3 tonight. But again, it just won't drop. Chimanga throws this one long. Because they hit 7 threes in the first half. They're going for an 8th one. And that's not going to fall. Androids, again, still looking for that first field goal here in the second half. Kolchenko giving this one up. Trying to go in, avoids the block, and Premack almost got the follow-up. Well, here we go with Tolbert. Trying to keep this one alive. Well, Broncos inside the paint, unable to finish. Now getting a little bit too casual here in their offense. Because knowing they have total control of this one, leading by 30 points. Looking to remain undefeated here in Group B. Kolchenko loses control. But now find a Premack, and that's good basketball there. There's where you've got to credit this team. It's very easy to log on and just see this team in the defeats and just, hammer down on them. But, as I've maintained, they do play organized basketball. Just the fact is they don't have quite the same depth as the other teams here in Group B. Can they get three-pointer number 8? And again, it is just raining threes from the Broncos. Za. Well, that time the three-pointer again made by Sarul Erdene Ekbatar. He now has 12 points this evening. Is that a very good performance, to say the least? Big rebound by Tolbert. Broncos looking to go full steam ahead. Down at Chimanga. Chimanga in the paint. That's going to be inevitable. Nobody's going to be able to stop him. And I said, if you want to prevent him from getting buckets in the paint, you've got to go for the double team. The lead now goes up to 33. A timeout has been called by Adroit. We're going to go down to their bench to hear what they've got to say, because the Broncos are running wild here in Bangkok, Thailand. Windows 2 and 3 here in Group B. A joint window hosted by both Android and High Tech. Well, we'll go down and hear what the coaches have to say in this timeout. Well, Android making a good penetration. Well, no, that's Wong, excuse me. Well, that is what they've got to do. They just haven't been able to do that enough. Make the penetrations from the backcourt. But still trailing by 31. Key thing for them is preventing the turnovers. And if they miss a shot, to try and get back on defense. Chimanga bodies his way in. Kicks out. Goes in for a scoop hook. But a foul's going to be called, and this one's on Kolchenko because... Or is it on Kolchenko? I don't know, actually. I think this one might be on Ching Hwan Ta. Well, they only have 9 turnovers, as opposed to only 8 from the Broncos. But the rebound count is so big. Broncos 31 rebounds in total, only 19 this evening for Android. Chimanga got it by Sudiev. Spinning baseline. Almost losing it. Miller here at 45. Free throw line extended. Well, here's another three. And Zugir, I should say, excuse me. Well, he made one in Chinese Taipei. He hasn't missed a three here in BCL Asia East. Right now, he's only taking one per game, and he's making one per game. Kolchenko heavily defended. This is good passing. Nice dish shot. Finds Sodiev, and that's another good offense by Adroit. Finding the young Ukrainian inside the paint. And you just notice that every time a penetration from the backcourt happens, the offense looks much better. Broncos try to pull up from 15. But due to Chimanga's hard work, they come up with another chance. 10 here on the shot clock. Miller off one screen. Chimanga drawing a foul against Sodiev. Foul has been given. Well, if you think about Sergei Primak at the moment, leading the Broncos with 9 points. Alexander Kolchenko, second top scorer with 8. Well, Adroit, that is, excuse me. Well, Jody Chimanga, 18 points, already a double-double with 11 rebounds, but Sarul Erdeni Ekbatar has 12. He also has 4 rebounds to go. His name is Miller goes baseline. Tries to tip at his own rebound. Adroit going for a tough kick out. Now another three in the corner, and that's way off the mark. Rebound falling right into the hands of falling right into the hands of Miller. Nice little post move. Goes in. Looking like a Mongolian George Gervin with a finger roll. And the young fella yet again. Well, Azbayar Altangarel tonight has 6 points. Well, that's going to be a kickball violation. 2:18 to go. 34-point lead at the moment to the Broncos. Well, Chimanga is going to take a breather. Double-double tonight. 18 points, 11 rebounds. Coming into the game, Bindria Sandardor. Well, foul's going to be called on the bull screen. I'm not sure if this one's going to be called on Sergelin Otgon Batar or if it's called on Azbayar Al-Tangarel. Either way, that's only going to be the first team, or second team foul, excuse me, for the Broncos here in the third quarter. Well, backcourt not getting open at the moment here for Sodiev. Now we're under 10 on the shot clock. Kolchenko pulls up for a Hail Mary. Goes out of bounds. Sodiev unable to save that one. Broncos will get it back. Well, again, welcome everybody watching live on FIBA's international YouTube platform. If you're watching this game, let us know where in the world you're watching this game. Which team are you supporting? Are you supporting Adroit of Singapore, or are you supporting Broncos of Mongolia? Well, young fella almost turns it over. And here's where Adroit just don't get enough people in transition. Fast break points, something so imperative that, you know, both teams, well, especially Adroit, should be looking to get more of. Kolchenko denies the screen, goes behind the back. Sodiev jump hook. Big rebound secured by Azbayar Altangarel. Well, going in the corner. Now looking for three, number 9. 3 is up, no good. Well, here's where you can see the fatigue settling in for Adroit. Not quite having the same depth. Players having to play extensive minutes. Now Sodiev in around the defense. Well, it's gonna keep it. But only 0.6 of a second left here on the shot clock. So big moment coming up here. Get it off in time. Beats the shot clock. Well, big time play. Kolchenko now in double figures. He's got 11 tonight. Still they trail by 31. Broncos in no rush. Right now want to slow this down. Nice pass on the baseline. BEA, beautiful cut. Well, the finish was exquisite by Tushig El Beg. Now tonight has 7 points. Well, 9 points, excuse me. 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He's having a good game so far. Broncos now looking to try and get one last stop. Adroit won the final shot. Almost turning it over. Nangham Bim pump fakes. They get a 3 off in the corner. 3 is up, no good. And that's the end of the third quarter, where the Broncos of Mongolia lead by 33 against Adroit. Game day 2 here in Windows number 2 and 3, Group B of the BCL Asia East. Well, this magnificent tournament, a revamp, of course, of last season's BCL qualifiers, in which 8 teams, 2 groups, a total of 5 windows, and then a Final Four to decide which 2 teams will head to the 2025 FIBA BCL Asia. Well, again, welcome everybody watching live on FIBA's official YouTube platform. Well, again, hello and welcome back, everybody, live here in Bangkok, Thailand. At the moment, the Broncos of Mongolia emphatically leading against Adroit of Singapore. Both teams competing here in the BCL Asia East, trying to become one of the top 2 teams in this group and get to the Final Four, where only 2 teams will book their tickets to the 2025 BCL Asia. Well, it's been a terrific performance tonight from the Broncos, led again by Jody Chimanga with a double-double of 18 points, 11 rebounds. But shout out to Sarul Erdeni Enk Batar, number 5 for the Broncos. Because he has 12 points, 4 rebounds. He's having a terrific game this evening. Broncos getting first possession. Same bats Kadu to all of our fans back in Mongolia. Another 3 goes flying. Get well. Oiluk Nkhui Ben. I don't understand how that one went in. Big time play. Zugir. This team just continues to light it up. That's now their 11th 3-point field goal made of the night. There's now Adroit trying to get one. The response is good down the other end. Well, the 3 was beautifully tucked away by Larry Liu. Only 5 points this evening. That's his 5th 3-point attempt. Oh, what a penetration. No help side defense. And Broncos running wild. That time, Edmund Zaya Ekmenbayar getting his first 2 points of the game. .36 cushion. Sudiev going for a post-up. Now going for a deep 3. Well, that's on target. But Broncos want to keep on pushing the pressure. Well, can they go for 3, number 12? Yes, they can. This team's come out like a house on fire in this game. The 3-point shooting for the Broncos has simply been magnificent. As this time, Tusheg Elbeg. Well, that's his second 3 of the night. He's got third 3, excuse me. 15 points. Now the second leading scorer for the Broncos. Well, not clicking at the moment for Adroit. Miller looking to push this one. Another penetration, but a foul's going to be called on the ground. That's going to be the first foul here in the fourth quarter. Well, big shout out to our 3 referees for tonight's game. They've done a magnificent job. Our referees coming from Japan, we have Haruga Iwai. From Kazakhstan, Alexei Stepanenko. And from Kuwait, we have Khalid Al-Shamari. Well, it's going to be an unforced turnover. And Adroit, it's been a very tough, well, it's a tough stop for them in Chinese Taipei. And of course, an also tough game for them. Second one. Nang Han Bin spinning. Kolchenko's only got 5 seconds. In the corner, someone's got to shoot this one. Well, now turning it over. Well, here we go. Goes in. Well, somebody explain to me what we just saw there. I like to call that the Euro-Mongolian step. Azbayar, are you kidding me? Well, the young fella's shown his potential tonight. Now making it a 41-point lead here for the Broncos. Now coming up with a steal. Broncos looking to push. Not wanting to take their foot off the pedal. Nice seal off, but that's going to be a turnover. Yep, good defense. But a right idea offensively. Well, I like that idea. Miller just goes straight to the post. And in that situation, you got to credit the seal off by Binderia Sandordag, who hasn't scored yet tonight, does have 3 rebounds and 1 assist. Well, Adroit's still playing for pride. It's going to be a traveling violation. Well, still was about to come up there. Well, looks like changes coming into the game. So Broncos making another change. Ikbayar Chulumbatar has played 7 minutes so far this evening. Only has 1 assist to his name, no points. We'll probably want to get his name on the stat sheet tonight. Tushigal Beg could become the top scorer for this team. Another 3 goes flying. That's going to go over the backboard. It will be an out-of-bounds violation. Final 6:47 coming up. Second game here in this window. Joint hosted by both Adroit and High Tech Basketball Club of Thailand. Because those teams did meet yesterday. High Tech getting their first win. Well, another turnover. Now Broncos have numbers. It's going to go all the way. Reverse layup. And he finally gets his first 2 points. Well, Binderia Sandardog. Because he put his hand in the cookie jar. Just came up with a steal and went coast to coast. Had numbers. But decided, hey, we have a 41-point lead. It's now time for me to get some points on the board. Three-point play converted. Broncos, of course, total control this one. Because they've only taken 6 free throws tonight. Well, no, excuse me. No, they've taken 7. Converted 4 of those. And lead by 44. Another penetration. Avoids the block and the foul. But Serdeyev comes up. Now Kolchenko tries another 3. And that's a good look for him, but unable to finish. $12 out of 21 from the three-point line. A very good percentage for Broncos. Oh my goodness! By Akhlad Zugi. I just saw a new airline. Captain Azbayar Altangarel with the alley-oop. The Bunnies! Oh, show me the replay of Captain Azbayar Altangarel. Here it comes. Here it comes. Bull screen. Throw it up. And Azbayar said, Zugi. What a finish. Young fella, introduce yourself. 36-point lead. Another 3 goes flying. And again, a big offensive rebound. I thought we were going to get a tip-in dunk. But still Broncos battling for second chance points. Another 3. Number 13. Almost got it. And finally, Serdeyev getting the offensive board. Well, the Broncos mean business. Not only are they looking to win the championship in the league in Mongolia, they want to go to BCL Asia. And I think they sent a message, when they had that big victory against New Taipei Kings. – Well, 4:54 to go here in the fourth quarter. Well, now Edmunzaya Ekmenbayar playing backcourt duties. Kolchenko coming over to Still. Android like yesterday, it's about playing for pride. Because you can't argue about the motivation of this team. They've given everything and so far all the games they've played. But now it's another turnover. Well, here we go. Here we go. And he throws it down with two hands. Well, Benderia Sandardog that time getting now his second field goal. If there's any player who's definitely deserved it, well, it's that man for sure. 5 points this evening. Two-handed rim rocker. Well, now indeed it is a 48-point lead. Android going for another three. And that one's nicely tucked away by Kolchenko. Well, Kolchenko's played a total of 31 minutes this evening. Could had to really carry the load for this team. Indeed has 14 points. He's their leading scorer, but it's another unforced turnover. Broncos just a little bit too sloppy with possession. Because if you're wondering about more games coming up here in BCL Asia East, well, this is the window here in Thailand, joint hosted by both Adroit and High Tech tomorrow. High Tech will be up against the Broncos, and you know that's going to be a big game. High Tech, of course, featuring some of the top talent from the Thailand national team. Another three. Broncos slightly just cooling down at the moment. Oh, they turn it over. Nice hands. Well, he tried to go for it. You've got to appreciate the attempt. But Edmunzaya Ekmenbayar unable to just have the buddies, but he does make it yet again a 47-point lead. Foul's going to be committed. This one's on Azbayar Altangarel. Well, free throws coming up now for Jong Han Wong. Of course, another player who's played plus 30 minutes, a total of 33 minutes tonight. Only 2 points. He's 1 for 7 from the field. But now a chance to go to the charity stripe and maybe just get a few more points to his name. Because he's been averaging 8 points per game. Only played in that game against High Tech. Didn't feature against New Taipei Kings. Because against New High Tech, he was actually 3 for 12 from the field. He made 1 3-pointer, attempted 6 of them. Second free throw, no good. Well, they just got to play to the end. It's as simple as that. Now we're over 3 minutes. Broncos just patiently trying to break this one down. Another mid-range. Premax secures the rebound. Now trying to go long, but nobody getting ahead here for Adroit. Kolchenko cross-court pass, but that goes into the VIP section. And unfortunately, they're not eligible to take three-pointers for Adroit. So a sub coming in. Nang Han Bin coming back into the game as Kolchenko leaves the game tonight. Leading scorer for Adroit, also has 4 rebounds. She does have 4 turnovers, but it did get 1 still tonight. It's just been a tough outing, of course, for Adroit. But as I said, nobody can question the motivation of these players. They've given everything. Goes baseline, avoids a block. What a move! Azbayar Altangarel. Well, this kid's going to be a bright talent. Tell you what. I mean, he's got a Scottie Pippen-esque game to him. I mean, he's a point forward. Not necessarily a point forward. He's more like a 3-stretch forward, but you got to love the way he finishes in and around the bucket. Tough finish. Now a chance to convert this to a 3-point play, potentially. Trying to put his team back up by 49 points. Oh, great game for the young fella. Converting the three-point play. Stands at 204 centimeters. What's incredible, he's only 20 years old. 20 years old. Another three here for Adroit. Not going to go. Offensive rebound falling in the hands here. Final seconds. Got to take something. It's going to be a 24-second violation. And indeed, great defense by the Broncos. Well, 1:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. 49-point lead currently to the number one team in Mongolia. Remember, they are in the finals of their domestic league, which is called the League. Bishrod Metel, the other rival team here in the BCL Asia East, down 2-1 against the Broncos. Adroit going into a 2-3 zone defense. Forcing the turnover now. Can they convert this? Well, it's easier said than done, but you just got to keep playing for pride. Nang Han Bin. Now going to a bull screen. Kicks out to Nang Han Bin. Wide open three. It's a good offense. And finally gets another one. That's a good offense. And it's things like this they've got to take away and build on. Remember, building a national federation, a basketball culture. No doubt the popularity is in Singapore. But what these players are doing right now, it's putting the seeds in place. Nang Han Bin getting the rebound. He's got 6 points tonight after making his second three-pointer. Well, another three goes flying. Not going to go. Rebound falling in the hands of Azbayar Altengarel. Well, nice pass. Good. Unselfish play. Looking for three, number 13. And that's not going to go to Shigel Beg. "12 seconds difference between both game and shot clock." Well, nice little penetration, but the layup just doesn't fall. But that's a good move by Shaylin J. And that would have been his first 2 points of the game. Well, it's been a terrific performance tonight from these players. They've come here, they've dominated. They've simply exemplified the true meaning of dominance. And it's going to mean the Broncos will remain undefeated here in Group B. They win this one, 87-41 against Adroit. A team looking to win the league, the championship in Mongolia. Now indeed looking to qualify for the 2025 BCL Asia East. There's still quite a way to go here in this group. Group B's only just got started since we saw them in Chinese Taipei, but it's a third defeat now for Adroit. Well, a big win to say the least, and you know the Broncos. So many players stepped up with good performances this evening. Serglen Otgon Batar, of course, the scoreless tonight, but you got to go to Cyril Erdene. Enk Batar had 12 points. And Barisbol Batar Erdene, well, 3 early three-pointers he made in the first quarter. And there is Jordi Chimanga finishing with a double-double and hardly playing that much in the second half. 18 points, 11 rebounds. Well, just a monumental performance from him and his teammates. Now they set the tone, remain undefeated, and could very well finish this group top of the table. And then there'll be a final window in Mongolia where we'll see both groups A and B. And remember, the other Mongolian team, Bishrod Metel, well, if they win their remaining games and defeat Palitha Jaya, they could very well also get into the Final Four of BCL Asia East. Well, there you have it. Your player of the game, number 32, for a second consecutive performance, Jordi Chimanga, the Canadian international. It's fair to say, you know, he is a difference. Only 16 minutes played tonight, 8 for 10 from the field, 7 for 9. He made a second three-pointer, but he is the player of the game. Well, we are going to go courtside to meet with Jordy Chimanga to get an interview with him and his thoughts. So stay with us on the live YouTube stream. Well, we'd like to give a big thank you, of course, to everybody who watched us live here on FIBA's international YouTube platform. So a personal message to all of our fans, a big thank you to all of our fans from Chinese Taipei who tuned in. Xie ni men, wo men ai ni men. And to all of our fans in Mongolia, Bayaklar, Ich Bayaklar, and as always, Zugir Zugir, baby. But as mentioned, we are going to get a post-game interview with Jordy Chimanga, and stick around more because we'll show you key stats, highlights, and then we'll go to the post-game press conferences where we'll meet both coaches to get their thoughts and reflections on this game, as well as some key players. Well, remember, BCL Asia East, the new format, the revamped qualification pathway, it began in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. 8 teams, 2 groups, a total of 24 games, and indeed, a Final Four after 5 windows to decide which 2 teams will go on to qualify to play against the champions of Japan's B-League, China's CBA, Korea's KBL, and the Philippines PBA, as well as the 2 best from FIBA Vassal. Here's Jordy Chimanga. Let's get his interview.
What's going through your mind, man? Second win for the teams. Great game from you.
I appreciate it. It was a good game. We came in here, we know what the game plan was, and we executed, so I'm proud of the guys again, and then let's keep it rolling.
Quick turnaround for you tomorrow, going up against the host with a chance to go undefeated in all of your away games. What do you guys think you need to emphasize going to that big game tomorrow?
Keep the main thing, and stay focused, stay solid, and come over here and try to do the same thing we did today. But really stay focused and don't let the game better.
One more quick thing, you have quite a fan following here courtside. Can you say a little bit about how the fans just come and travel and to watch you guys, the team, all around?
It's been amazing, honestly. Thankful to the fans and everybody that's come here to support us. It means a great lot, and definitely give us an extra boost to play in the games and whatnot. So we appreciate y'all a lot. Much love.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, there you heard it from Jordy Chimanga, player of the game. Second award he's won so far here in BCL Asia East, and a terrific performance from the Broncos. Well, there you have your stats from this game. Broncos, of course, shooting a very impressive 12 out of 28 from the three-point line, 23 out of 38 in total from inside the rainbow, and 35 field goals in total. Well, the 45 to 30 on the rebound count tells you something, as well as the assist difference, 26 to 12. 1 still tonight for the Broncos, 8 for Adroit. But unfortunately, Adroit lose this one heavily by 46. Well, fans, as mentioned, stick around. We do have the post-game press conferences coming up, where, as mentioned, we are going to meet the head coaches of both these 2 teams, as well as some key players. The big game tomorrow, High Tech of Thailand, will be going up against the Broncos. That could very well be decided to find out who finishes first or second. 3 good teams here in Group B. New Taipei Kings, Broncos, and Adroit. It's going to be interesting, but remember, 8 teams, 2 groups, 24 games, 5 windows, and then a Final Four. Who is going to the 2025 FIBA Basketball Champions League Asia? Well, it's that time of day. We'll leave you with the highlights, but remember, very shortly, we have the post-game press conferences, so please stick around.
check. hello. Hello, hello. Someone. Okay, okay.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the post-game press conference between the BCL East Asia between Adroit and the Broncos, with the Broncos winning 87 to 41. Right now, I have Coach Ng Shun Han on the podium with player Jonathan Wong. First, I'd like to ask for comments from both coach and the player, please.
Okay, first of all, I thanks FIBA give us such platform to participate. Okay, we joined this tournament. I think definitely increase our standard because compared to them, our standard a bit lower. So hopefully we can learn from here and can increase our basketball skill and the teamwork. That's all. Thank you.
John, your thoughts on the game?
I think in general, it helps us. It gives us more experience, exposure about the game, so that we can bring this back home to teach the youngest one. More of it is also experience and have fun as well. But for me, it's just enjoy the game. That's all.
Okay. For both of you, you have two more games. You have two more games in Bangkok here. What do you think you still want to show more of, or what want to display to the fans? To, as you mentioned, the younger players in Singapore, what do you want them to see in these upcoming games?
Okay, for our team, actually we have to go and control the tempos because but just now I asked them to slow down the game and try to don't let them score 100 points. Okay, we are success, but hopefully we can score 50 points. That's my planning. Okay, if got chance, I will send my young player, go down for the game and gain the experience.
John, for you?
I think the most important part is just have fun. Just go through the experience and then just have fun. That's all.
All right, thank you very much. This is the end of the first part of the press conference. We will be back soon with the Broncos. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the second part of the post-game press conference. First of all, congratulations for the Broncos winning 87-41 against Adroit here, staying undefeated in this second game. We have on the podium Coach Adroit and player Tushik. First of all, your thoughts on the game, starting with you, Coach, first.
Firstly, then thanks God, and this is our result of our preparation. Last 2 days we prepared very well. That's why today we can win.
Tushik, your thoughts on the game?
За юуцсан эхний ээлжинд хоцсондоо маш их баяртай байна. Тэгээд ер нь гарсан минутанда ер нь аль болох үр дүнтэй тоглохыг хичээлээ дээ.
He is really happy on the winning, and he tried to his advantage on the court when he played during the court.
A question for Tushik here. This is your first BCL Asia East game. How did it feel coming into this one and putting up a good performance?
Тэгээд BCL ингээ анхны тоглолттой хийж дээ. Тэгээд мэдээ талбай дээр гараад сайн үзүүлээ энэ талаараа болцчихэ.
Мэдээч маш их баяртай байна. Тэгээд бас бид нар төлөвлөгөөний дагуу сайн явсан гэж харж байгаа.
He was happy on his performance, and he just followed the game plan.
For you guys, the upcoming game, it's a pretty big one against the host, High Tech, and also an opponent that you guys played against last year. What are your emphasis going into the game, and what do you think you need to do really well, especially in an away game like this?
Right now, we already start to focus on the next game because we have a game tomorrow night. And so, especially my focus on only the defense. And that's why just my guys needs to work on the defense. That if we should be work very well, then we can win. Then.
Okay, last one here for both of you. Gonna be pretty quick. You have like a lot of fans sitting on the court side, coming in, flying in from Mongolia. Can you say a little bit about that support and how important it is to have that support as an away team for both Coach and Tushik as well?
За тэгээд мэдээж өөрсдийн дэмжгээр ирсэн олон монголчууд байлаа. Тэгээд ялангуяа корт сайдаар суудсан те энэ хүмүүсийн дэмжлэг өөрөө чинь тоглолтод хэр нөлөөлж исэн бэ энэ талаар.
Монгол талаас бол бас маш хүмүүс ирсэн байгаа. Спонсорууд, ах нар, хүмүүс дэмжгээр монголчууд бас айгүй олоолаа сугалсан байна. Тэдтэй маш их баярлалаа. Тэгээд биднэрт бол бас айгүй их хүч өгсөн гэж харж байгаа.
A lot of people come with us these visiting games, and also the embassy and a lot of Mongolians come to the game, and this support is really important us.
And I'm really appreciate for all of the fans. Then so many people watching from the Mongolia, around 7,000 to 8,000 people in the YouTube, and also the many people come from the Mongolia in this arena. That's why I'm really thank you for all of the fans, and please support us for the next game. Because tomorrow is so tough game we had.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Coach and Tushik, for this post-game press conference. Right now it's officially over. Congratulations for the win once again, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.